It's now time for the WLEW Sports Postgame Show on Sports Radio 102.1 FM, WLEWSports.com, and now live on Facebook. Presented by Sure Health.
And good evening, folks, and welcome to our post-game show on the WLEW Sports Network as the Harbor Beach Pirates defeat the USA Patriots 35-12. And right now we shift our attention down to field where Ed Klump is standing by with head coach Troy Schelke.
Troy, congratulations on that, on the win and the districts. How did you think the game went? What did you think of the performance of your team?
Yeah, it was a tough game all the way around. Right from the beginning, USA was mashing, and we knew they would come out and do that. And the scenario before half was huge. You know, we stopped them and scored just after having scored, and that was really the difference in the game. And then the second half was tough too. So, got to give a lot of credit to USA. I think they've really sharpened us up. Now it's just win. Okay, so we played 2 games where we were probably the heavy favorite. Now we're the underdogs. Now, whatever pressure we felt has just totally dissipated. Now we're playing the defending state champions. We just got to go out and try to find a way to win by 1 and win that first play and then win the second play. So I feel good about what happened here tonight, even though it was a struggle for us, and I compliment USA on giving us that struggle.
Yeah, they moved the ball a little methodically at times. You guys were kind of a bend but don't break there. The defense, though, held up and came up with some big plays. Yeah,
heck yeah. I think USA scores a lot of points per game, and to hold them to whatever we held them to, I think it was 12 points. Offensively, we were real efficient. Just the one drive, stalled. Our defense held them down here in that field position. We'd like to have that one where we got stopped on 4th down, but other than that, very efficient on offense. So really looking forward to this week now, and looking forward to playing Beal City.
Yeah, I believe it was, what was that again? It was 60 plays, 226 yards. Very, very efficient.
Yeah, that was us, was it?
No, that was them. You guys on defense.
Yeah, really. They were ground and pound and grounded it out. And when we really did stop them, we weren't able to take advantage. But that scenario before halftime was huge. Really, the difference in the game. So USA played very well, but our guys played a little bit better, and we're district champs and moving on.
Well, good luck next week, Coach.
Hey, thank you much, Eddie. I appreciate it.
And Ed Klumps also has another person there. That would be Keegan Potestevio, and we're going to take all the question marks out of this, and we're going to name the Ameriprise Financial Player of the Game right now. Ed Klump, take it away.
Mr. Postevio, you are player of the game today. Congratulations. You had 5 carries, 83 yards, and 2 touchdowns, averaging a little over 16 yards per carry. Fantastic. Great job. And talk to me about that run that you had in the touchdown. You went a little beast mode. You ran some people over. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, I found the hole, tried cutting up. Somebody tried tackling me, got away from him, and just tried powering through.
Fantastic. Well, what are you looking forward to next week when Beal City comes to town?
Having my line blocked for me, just getting ready for them, practice, and just ready for the game.
Hey, good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ed Klump. Come on out of the weather there. As that's Keegan Potestevio, your Ameriprise Financial Player of the Game. Ended up with 5 carries, led the team in rushing with 83 yards and 2 touchdowns, averaging 16.6 per carry, including a 54-yard touchdown run, which really blew this game open. That was the second score of the night for the Pirates to make it 14-0, a minute 9 left in the first quarter. Good evening once again. My name's Clark Ramsey. To the right of me with you, Dave Hansen. For those watching on the NFHS Network, if you're listening, you just have to imagine our beautiful selves here in Harbor Beach, Michigan. Hands are a little cold. It could be that north wind we've been feeling all night. And indeed, the Harbor Beach Pirates, from the legend on down, from the big lake they call Gitchagumi, we're going to have a big game here next week between the Beal City Aggies and the Harbor Beach Pirates for regional championship. But before we get to that one, let's talk about this game we just saw in front of us, Dave Hansen, because that was quite the showing from the Harbor Beach Pirates. Let's walk through those scoring plays from the very beginning.
Yeah, it started right in the first quarter. Harbor Beach puts up 2 quick scores. First, it started on the very first one. It's Andrew Caban, a 2-yard touchdown run. Cruz tacks on the PAT. Harbor Beach would lead 7-0 with 6:54 to go in the first. But later in the quarter, Keegan Potestevio would break free on a 54-yard touchdown run, blows away from the defense. Skylar Cruz would have an opportunity to kick an extra point and make it 14-0 end of the first quarter. In the second quarter, USA would get on the board on fourth down. Peters would hit Dixon on a 5-yard touchdown pass. The 2-point run would come up short, but it's 14-6. Harbor Beach leads. Harbor Beach, though, would answer on another Keegan Potestevio touchdown run, this time from 12 yards away, making people miss into the end zone. Skylar Cruz would make another PAT. And before the half would be over, Caban would take this pass away on the interception with not a whole lot of time left. 2 plays later, you will see Caden Buchholz hit Skylar Cruz on a 20-yard touchdown pass. He has to escape from the pocket and extend that play, but he would hit Cruz for a touchdown, this time a 20-yard touchdown pass, and at the half, Harbor Beach would lead 28-6. Going into the third quarter, USA would score again. This time it's Finkbeiner on a 1-yard touchdown run. The 2-point conversion would be short again, but it's 28-12 with 3:32 to go in the third quarter. But Harbor Beach would respond again. This time on a play-action pass, Caden Buchholz would tuck it for himself and take it 42 yards down the sideline for a touchdown. Cruz would make yet another point after to extend the lead 35-12 at the end of the third quarter. And in the fourth quarter, no scoring would happen. No scoring would happen, and Harbor Beach would hold on for a tough-fought win over the USA Patriots here in Harbor Beach, a score of 35-12.
Let's walk you through the analytics and the stats here before we break down this game. As the Harbor Beach Pirates with 269 yards, the USA Patriots with 226 yards. The difference, though, Harbor Beach did it in 27 plays. USA did it in 60 plays. Harbor Beach averaged 10 yards a play. USA averaged just 3.8. For leading the way for the Patriots, no surprise here, 22 carries for Brady Green for 88 yards, averaging 4 yards per carry. Carried the ball 41% of the time for the Patriots. Davis Peters, the second leading rusher, with 3 carries for 29 yards. Noah Howard, 7 carries for 28 yards. Bryson Finkbeiner, 10 carries for 25 yards, and the lone score on the rushing attack. Owen Kaufhold, 7 carries for 23 yards, and Ryan Wiederhold, 2 carries for 13 yards. Kind of the story of all season for USA. Brady Green, majority of the yards, then Davis Peters, Howard, Finkbeiner, Kaufhold, and Wiederhold kind of filling in the rest.
Yeah, they all fill in, but not one of them kind of took that secondary role, right? Became the 1B to 1A of Brady Green. It was always him and everybody else. But Coach Hahn was okay with that. I think he likes spreading these guys out, getting all these guys involved. A lot of seniors, a couple sophomores. Again, a lot to look for there for the USA running game. It was old school, hard-nosed football, ground and pound, but just not enough defense for them today.
For the Harbor Beach Pirates, 25 carries on 249 yards, 1 completion on 2 attempts for 20 yards. I should say Davis Peters was 2 for 6 for 9 yards with 2 interceptions, 1 at the very end of the game, and 1 touchdown going to the hands of Carson Dixon, who actually brought in both receptions for 9 yards. The Harbor Beach Pirates were paced by Keegan Potestevio, as a result being named the Ameriprise Financial Player of the Game with 5 carries for 83 yards and 2 scores. Caden Buchholz, 5 carries as well for 69 yards and just 1 score. Only averaging 13.8 tonight, so that's going to bring down his numbers a little bit there. But Andrew Caban, 6 carries for 43 yards and another score. Rogan Messing, quiet night for him, but 4 carries for 36 yards, averaging 9 per tote. Drew Nickran, 4 carries for 14 yards, and Benson Harper, 1 carry for 4 yards very early in that first quarter. Caden Buchholz through the air, 1 for 2 for 20 yards, going to the hands of Skylar Cruz, and that is his first catch. Let's see here. Skylar Cruz, his last catch was week number 7 against Reese, when he had 4 receptions for 80 yards, nothing since. But regardless, it doesn't matter who is bringing in the catches, as long as all Harbor Beach cares about is that they're winning the game. Ed Klum's with us right now. Ed, what was your feeling on the sideline, if you have any feeling left in your toes?
Yeah, it was definitely a cold one today. I think with what USA wanted to do, they were moving the ball. They were taking time off the clock. You could tell that they were in the huddle for a long time, really draining that play clock down, and they were moving the ball effectively. It's just the explosiveness of Harbor Beach's offense they just couldn't keep up with. If the defense of USA could have had a few more stops, I think it could have been a game. Nothing wrong with their offense, I felt today.
Dave Hansen.
Yeah, I agree. And you were talking about the passing of Harbor Beach, 2 attempts. The only reason they attempted the 2 passes is because Andrew Caban picked that pass off with about 9 seconds left and 40 yards to go to pay dirt. They were like, hey, let's spread it out and throw a couple passes. The first one, he threw it down in the corner here, gave Benson Harper a jump ball to go get it. It was pretty well defended by USA. And then, of course, as you know, he hits Skylar Cruz, and Cruz does the rest, finds his way into the end zone. The passing game was never part of what they wanted to do. Just opportunity came to something else to work on. They just proved they can do it yet again at any time when they need to, even when the weather's not great. It's windy out there. You would know better than me, but it's definitely windy out there. You can feel it even up here. So it was not part of the game plan. They still can execute it, but still, my favorite part of this this Harbor Beach offense is when Caden Boo called play action pass. I love how he surveys the field, but he never stops moving. He's constantly moving with his eyes downfield, and if he sees even the slightest opening, the gunslinger mentality, he will let it rip with no fear. And if he doesn't like what he sees, he has no problem running the football. He turned a play action pass into a 40-yard touchdown run tonight. He seems to do it every time we see him.
Yeah, just at this point, I don't think it really matters what the. I know Troy Schelke doesn't care what the score is at the end of the day, as long as the victory, like we heard him talk with Ed Klump there. Now that the tone changes, Harbor Beach for the last 11 weeks has been kind of the dominant one in the boxing ring, and now they're facing off with the defending Division 8 state champions, another undefeated team, Beal City, taking care of Saginaw Novell tonight in their district championship game, and that sets up a great regional championship. Let's show up what this field looks like right now. So way back 2 weeks ago, it feels like an eternity ago, Beal City beat Sacred Heart 49-7. Harbor Beach beat Reese 49-8. Then tonight, Beal City takes care of Saginaw Novell. I think it was last we heard it was 27-7, somewhere in there.
That was your halftime.
That was our halftime score. And then Harbor Beach takes out USA 35-12. So Harbor Beach allowing their opponent to score twice. I won't be surprised if Beal City only allowed Novell to score once. And that sets up a date for the regional championship because of playoff points. Because Harbor Beach went out and played 4 Division 7 foes that had very good records in Millington, Cass City, Lakers, and Whiteford back in week 2, they ended up with 0.4 of a point more than the Beal City Aggies. And as a result of this, which is very interesting how it all comes to play here, especially when if Beal City and Harbor Beach were to face off in the semifinals, it wouldn't matter who has more points. But because it's the regional championship game, because they're so much closer in the brackets, Harbor Beach will host the Beal City Aggies on their home field, somewhere they haven't lost in forever, and for a long time, I will say. And that game will go on either next Friday or next Saturday. It's because it's beyond the 75-mile range between the two schools. It can be decided, if they can't agree on a time, then it automatically goes to Saturday at 1 o'clock. So it can be Friday night, can be Saturday night, can be Saturday at 1, but both teams need to agree. Otherwise, it automatically goes to Saturday at 1 o'clock. And it's going to be an interesting one between 2 blue-chip programs, the Beal City Aggies, a perennial postseason team. We've seen them time and time again. They got the state championship last year. We've called, if there's any team outside of the region that we've called more games in, it's Beal City. We always run into them. It could be Ubley, it could be Harbor Beach, it could be whoever we're facing off. For years, Beal City has been just a story on Thanksgiving weekend. It feels like the Aggies just outside of Mount Pleasant there. And Ed Klump, you've been in these games, regional championship games. You made it all the way to the Silver Dome, which they subsequently tore down because of your play there. But that's
thanks for showing the age there too.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well,
it doesn't take much these days. But Ed Klump, what's the vibe? What's the mentality now going into this third week? Troy Schelke said it already. They're now the underdogs. I'm not sure I fully believe that, because I've been discussing this for a while for a number of players, and I'll let you guys talk eventually here. But for as many people saying, "Boy, Beal City's going to be tough," there's just as many people in Beal City saying, "Boy, Harbor Beach is going to be tough." So that's where the interesting dynamic. We really don't know a ton about Beal City yet, but we know that they're going to be tough-nosed. They're going to run some jet sweeps, and they're going to try and jam it down your throat.
Yeah, it seems like every time it doesn't matter who comes out of the thumb, you're going to see Beal City. If you're going to make it in the playoffs, you're going to see Beal City. They're always tough. Even Coach Schelke, and in the interview after the game, hinted that, hey, now it really starts. Now it starts getting really serious because Beal City's coming to town.
I also don't actually believe Coach Schelke thinks that he's the underdog either, but he wants his kids to believe they are the underdog. I think it's tactic. It's a motivational thing that we need to practice as hard as we've practiced. We need to be as ready and as sharp. Again, why he implodes on the simplest minor little thing right here when they turn the football over, their team is celebrating, and his offense isn't on the field ready to go, and he has to burn a timeout. Those are the perfectionism things that he has instilled into this program for the last, I don't know, my entire lifetime, your entire lifetime, right? Those are the things that drive him crazy, and there's so many coaches around that would love to be at that point, right? They are not. This program is right now, and that's what he is. Again, I think it's all tactic. I think he fully believes this team is capable of beating Beal City. There's one big thing that's going to make a huge difference, is that Beal City team's got to get on a bus, and they got to come over here next to the lake where it's going to be cold, and they're going to have to play right here in Harbor Beach, which is the difference from all the other Beal City games you and I have called.
Yeah.
It hasn't been right here on our side of the field. So hopefully that brings a lot of luck for Harbor Beach, and I imagine it don't matter what the weather, this place will be packed.
It should be a good one, yeah.
Yeah, and I think when you go back to, hey, when you're playing in this game and the excitement and the nerves and the kids and what they have to be thinking about, it's doing your job, being disciplined and whatnot, and keeping those emotions because they are riding high. The deeper you go, the more excited you get, and that's a good thing. They're going to be pumped up, but you have to do your job. You have to be disciplined, and that's what Coach Schelke really instills in his players, anyways.
Well, the similarities are uncanny here. Topher Goggin, who we've met through broadcasting, actually. He's covered Ithaca. He has the off night here. He's giving me updates on the Beal City game right now. It's now Novell just scored, their second score of the night. It is now 41-13 with an extra point on the way there. So very similar scores on both sides. Harbor Beach gave up 2 scores tonight. Beal City has given up 2 scores against the pesky Panthers of Novell. Hate to see them lose. They deserve it so much, Novell. They just really have been down on their luck lately. As a fellow Catholic, I love.
I would say that might be facetious. I'm
a
not
little
sure.
bit. It's kind of like Notre Dame losing. It feels good. It feels good. The PAT is no good. So Beal City gets the kickoff back. Minute 20 to go in that one. So Beal City is going to cruise to victory there, but they're leading right now 41-13 over the Novell Catholic Central Panthers as Harbor Beach and Beal City setting the table for quite the game next Friday or Saturday. This is where it gets interesting. Both schools, very rural areas. There's this thing on the calendar called November 15th, next Saturday. If they play on Friday, that's November 14th. Mm-hmm. And that would open up November 15th for them. If they play on the 15th, that would give Beal City a little extra time in the morning to get over here. Regardless, it's a long bus ride. They'll have a charter bus. I know they do. Last time they played here, they rolled in charter buses, much like Harbor Beach rolls in everywhere else with charter buses as well. So I was pushed. This is my thought. Saturday at 7 p.m.
Oh man.
Not Friday, Saturday. Let them get them time over here. You can hunt in the morning. Come on in. Shoot it down for Saturday night at 7.
Yeah, I like it. My sister got married on November 15th, and I had a couple uncles actually call to make sure it was still going on. So I'm pretty sure there's a lot of young men that are playing in this game that are hoping it's Friday.
Well, we're going to hear from Dan Banke, actually. He's been in the trenches here once before, time of 2, for Troy Schelke as well as as when he was in the backfield. And Dan Banke, you've been in these moments. I can't remember your records of what years you played there, but it was early in the Troy Schelke era there, as the game is still getting his feet wet there. But Dan Banke, what were your thoughts tonight?
Yeah, my actually, it was Troy Schelke's first year. I was a sophomore on varsity, so he was his first year coaching. I played for him. So we had a tough year. We won 5-4. I think 3 years I played, we won 5-4 all 3 years. So it was like a record just kept spinning. We lost a couple tight ones, and at that point I think it was they went by record, not by points. So if you got 6 wins, you're automatically in. So.
You're right. So what would be your message, Dan Banke, to the team this week?
Offense, I don't think there is a whole lot to disagree with. Right, I mean, they look pretty good. Defensively, they didn't give up the big play, but they just couldn't stop. It was 3.5. Beal City is going to probably make it to 4 or 5. I mean, they're a little different animal here, but I think they just got to maybe play a little bit like blitzing, maybe a little bit more. It seems like Harbor Beach likes to sit back. I don't know really coaching, watching the videos.
Maybe running a few stunts, getting a little bit of movement on that defensive line. Yeah,
Bill City likes to run. Looks like they want to run like a pitch option, and like get outside a little bit more. So maybe I might have to throw 2 defenses instead of running 4-4 all day. Run a 5-3 or something. So they'll watch film and I'm sure they'll figure it out.
Yeah, I agree. And I think the most important thing on those pitch options that you mentioned is you got to take out the first guy. You have to absolutely make him get rid of the football and get it to the outside. Personally, I think that's where Harbor Beach's linebackers excel, is getting sideline to sideline. So if that's what Beal City wants to do, I like Harbor Beach's chances on defense to compete and try to make some negative plays or stop them for very little gain.
Right. I have a sneaking feeling you may see Caden Buchholz play defense next week too. So
okay.
Hot take.
I think he was able to probably play here maybe the last 2 weeks, but they're just kind of saving him up, I think. So it wouldn't be surprising to see him back on the field on both sides of the ball. So and that's a huge help on that defense. He's a big big help there. So don't be surprised if you see that. And then probably Harper in the backfield a little bit more often. So those guys are ready to go. You can kind of tell on the runs and.
Yeah, you can.
You've seen Harper put some pretty good licks out there.
They're getting healthier and healthier at the right time.
They're feeling better every game.
Well, and look, guys. It's as soon as the season started and we got back together doing this, it was Beal City or Hudson, and that was pretty much it. Hudson's going to be on the other side, so worry about them later. But we knew a date with Beal City was coming, and this is it. It's all hands on deck. You push all the chips to the center of the table. I think Benson Harper has to play a lot more on offense. I think Caden Buchholz definitely needs to be out on defense. Again, all hands on deck. Best players need to be in the biggest scenarios at all times.
We've seen 4 passes from Harbor Beach in the last 2 weeks,
right,
so we haven't seen that whole side of the playbook. When we saw that open up against Whiteford, we saw it against Millington especially. This was a different team. A whole nother gear there flying forward. Kendall Anthus, I just want to, applaud you. You survived Doug Cole's role tonight, keeping our stats on offense and defense and team stats. This is a standing ovation as we're sitting here for you, Kendall Anthus. Your thoughts from tonight?
I thought tonight, honestly, didn't watch much of the game because, if I'm being completely honest, Doug Cole, kudos to you if you're listening. You have the hardest job here, and I mean that with all. I mean that respect to everything that everybody else does.
Clark's just a figurehead.
Right. Just a talking head. That's all.
It's just a talking head.
Hard to listen to everything that goes on, and I think from now on, I'm just going to stand in the back with my mouth shut because I don't know how you guys.
7 days from now, you won't remember that last part.
No, I will because
we did say last week's broadcast. I think it's a commercial break. We all kind of looked around and said, "Man, it's kind of quiet."
Yeah,
kind of quiet. It's Kendall Anthus was not here last week, but
it will be from now on.
It's great to have you back, and we'll have everyone back in their A positions next week. So we'll be in full force because why is 5 not enough for a broadcast? On the radio, let's add 6 and then 7 with Kevin Streeter. But the sport coats are out, fellas, for the rest of the year here now. So giddy up, depending on how the state semifinal action situation rolls out there. And anytime we have postseason hardware on the table, it's certainly a sport coat situation here. The best looking crew on radio. That doesn't say much, though.
It's weird. It just flashed my name when you said that.
Okay. Hey, you look sharp. Look at those teeth, those sparkling pearls there for Kendall Anthus. So, all right, we have a final score. Thanks to Topher Goggin there from the Alma area. He actually also calls Alma Scots football there as well. Let's take a look at that. We have a final score, and that would be the Beal City Aggies defeat Novell 41-13 is your final there. So, Harbor Beach 35-12 over USA. Beal City 41-13 in programs and schools and seasons that have been kind of mirroring each other all the way back to the early days before Labor Day. Now Beal City 11-0, Harbor Beach 11-0, squaring off for a chance at the state semifinal position. This team in this game very well, I know whoever wins this game next week is going to punch their ticket to Ford Field.
Yeah, there's no doubt. No offense to whoever they play in the semifinal, but this is going to feel like a state finals football game. There's no other way to put it. It's 2 of the best teams in Division 8 facing off already, and no offense to the other side, but this is the game that everybody's going to watch in Division 8.
Anyone else thoughts?
I guess I might have been gone, but the good thing Harbor Beach played those Division 7 teams,
it's huge.
right?
Yeah.
They get to host this game. That's going to be a huge advantage, right?
And when the brackets came out and everyone was kind of deciphering how it was going to look, like, man, I hate to get Beal City in regionals, not the semis. So, no, that's a good thing. For that reason you're just talking there, Dan Becky. Home field advantage in football in high school is huge.
If you have to get them before Ford Field, this is the time you want them.
Yeah.
So.
It's a long bus ride from Beal City, Michigan. That's all I got to say. When Ubley had to travel all the way to Mount Pleasant on a neutral field, which was just 8 miles for Beal City, and then 120 for Ubley at that point. That game came down to the waning moments. I'm confident next week is going to be a great game. And fellas, it's been good to know you. And my final Edmund Fitzgerald
That's the
reference
last
there.
one he had to cross off.
I don't even have that one on there. The only one I didn't get to say tonight is I was waiting for a Matt Geiger catch. And I said, Matt Geiger is a lot like Lake Ontario. He takes in whatever Buchholz can send him. That's the only one I didn't get it in there. But no, it's Edmund Fitzgerald 50th anniversary this coming Monday. Big events going on on Lake Superior, Whitefish Bay. A public event during the day and then a private event just for the families of the 29 affected there. But in all good jest, I love how
I'll give you a more positive thing. It's also my anniversary.
Oh, yes, it is. Mm-hmm. What a date!
I wondered you'd remember that because
I
did miss a regional football game because of that.
That game felt like the Gales of November. That was when Harbor Beach played Beecher. I was sitting in the same exact spot as we are right now, and that was the worst weather I've ever seen for a football game. As Beecher brought about 8 fans with them, and they're all standing underneath the pop-up tent on the far sideline, and that tent just disintegrated as the game went on. Saturday we came to clean up a few things, and the tent was just left behind. It was in poor shape, and that's how the outcome was for the Harbor Beach Pirates as well.
Had to be that one or Petoskey, right? I mean, that was crazy.
That was miserable.
That was crazy.
Petoskey that was just an overwhelming weather.
Yeah.
The weather for that Beecher Harbor Beach game was just sideways sleet and hail.
Yeah.
Not hail, but rain, snow. It was a postman's oath out there, is what it was that night. But
I think Beecher was defeated for that game when Harbor Beach came out with this cutoff T-shirts and warmed up. And they were like in snowmobile suits.
The only thing that had a worse chance of winning was the buffet at Ricky's Jay's tonight, with Ed Klump eating with Ed.
Took a few good shots it did. I'll tell you that.
And let me just pull up that picture one final time here. I've got it somewhere here.
It looks like it's right there.
But now let me find it. Where are we at? Trying to do some fast editing here because apparently my job is very easy, Kendall Anthus.
Yes.
Here we go. Let's pull this up here. So here's the full image of Ed Klump at Ricky Jay's here with eating with Ed. 3 plates, a salad, a dessert, you name it, frog legs, everything for Ed Klump tonight.
Yep. Ricky's frog legs, but he's wearing long pants again, so nobody noticed. Yep. Good. I mean, it was great. I recommend it.
All right, Ed Klump, final thoughts from tonight.
Well, I'm excited about next week. I think that's when that's going to be a game. I think when we go to the round table, I think there's going to be some close scores. We're going to be fighting. We're not going to be fighting over
fisticuffs. Are we going to see fisticuffs?
We may. It's not going to be fighting over for the longest or the biggest spread. I think it's going to be fighting over for the smallest.
Kendall Anthus, your thoughts?
I'm really excited for next week. I hope that we get a Saturday game, actually. I wouldn't mind a Saturday afternoon game. But side note, Schoolcraft is up 26.
Here we go.
With 3 minutes and 9 seconds left over Lawton in the third quarter.
Thank you, Kendall Anthus.
So glad you allowed me to say that.
Yeah. Other scores, Millington was leading Rochester Hills, Lutheran Northwest 49-0 last we heard, and we don't really have a whole lot else to report. We had 8-player football. Dave Hansen stole that sheet on me.
It was
Kingston 16-8 over Caltech, and that was in the fourth quarter still, so that's not a final. So some close games there in 8-player football. Millington taking due course as we kind of expected, and then Lakers and Ithaca plays tomorrow at 1 o'clock. I'm sure that game's on the radio somewhere. Maybe 360 Sports might have that one. I'm not sure what that game will be on. Fortunately, we're not available for that. So, but now Dave Hansen, we'll wait for your thoughts here. Dan Benke, your thoughts?
I'm looking forward to next week. I want to see Harbor Beach on offense, their full spread, because we're going to see it. It's you're going to see some stuff you haven't seen all year. So we're looking forward to it.
We're going to see if they can flip that switch.
Yes. Yep. And defensively, I think they'll work on some things and get that tidied up a little bit. They might still give away that 3 yards at a crack, but it's going to be a little tough sledding, I think, for Beal City as well.
So, not to look ahead here, but the winner of next week, Bark River Harris, defeated Iron Mountain tonight. Thanks, Ken Lantis, find this one, 41-20. So, Bark River Harris will face off with either Glen Lake or East Jordan, the Ironworks, against the Bark River Harris. And then the winner of that one will take on the winner of Beal City and Harbor Beach. But I don't think anyone's going to be looking at the semifinals because all the eyes in the state of Michigan are going to be locked in here as Maple City Glen Lake defeats East Jordan 28-14.
There you go.
So Maple City Glen Lake and Bark River Harris, and then Beal City and Harbor Beach in the regional championship round of Division 8. Ken Lantis, any other thoughts?
No, sir.
Okay, so Dan Banky, appreciate your work tonight. Best spotter in the business. Ed Klump, have we heard from you? I'm losing track of everyone.
Yes, but I would like to say good luck to the Lakers tomorrow.
Yeah, that's going to be a great
game.
Go get them. Ithaca's Ithaca. That's as far as I can say. Ithaca is Ithaca.
Yeah.
And Dave Hansen, your thoughts?
I got a first thing. Congrats on USA. It was a great season. It was a much-needed season.
Great game.
The program's clearly on the up and up. Coach Hahn has got things cooking. It is a senior-heavy class. There's a lot of sophomores that have played big roles. So hopefully the future stays bright for them. But it's always better when USA football is competitive and in the playoffs like they were. So first of all, good season to them. Harbor Beach, a nice win. It wasn't their best football by any means, but when they play average or above average, they're still good enough to beat a lot of teams. But that will not be acceptable next week. The defense has to play better. The offense scored on every drive but one, and leave it to a guy like Coach Schelke to point out his offense didn't score on that drive. Right? So the perfectionist mentality is going to be huge this week, and I thought Keegan Potestevio said it best. I can't wait for practice. They are excited, and we are too. And again, we are all getting a treat of a state championship football game next weekend here in Harbor Beach.
Yeah, that USA score in the second quarter was just the third score that Harbor Beach has allowed in the second quarter. Reese and Whiteford both scored in the second quarter. USA, the third team to allow, in just the fourth touchdown all season that Harbor Beach has allowed in that first half.
We've seen them all.
Not the Reese game.
Not the Reese game. The first time.
Oh, it's the first time.
Go back to your laptop, Ken. So now USA finishes with a 7-4 record. Their best.
Remember when he said he's going to keep his mouth shut?
Yeah,
Make it to next week.
He made it to the next segment.
Kudos.
So the USA finishes at 7-4. Kudos to the USA Patriots. It's been a pleasure watching Davis Peters, especially Brady Green, Noah Howard, Bryce Finkbeiner, Owen Kauffold, a number of offensive and defensive seniors on that squad, but also a lot of sophomores. So you take a look at the seniors there: Carson Dixon, Owen Kauffold, Tristan Thompson, Davis Peters, Ryan Wiederhold, Bryson Finkbeiner, Maddox Nix, Brady Green, Gabe Matt, who doesn't get on the field a ton, but still on this team, especially Billy Dinsmore is a big body there, left tackle, defensive tackle. Owen Kovac, he got some time at defensive end this year. Kaysen Fiebig, right tackle, defensive tackle, and then that's all the seniors on this team. But no, this USA team took their licks 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 2 years ago, and finally turned the corner, and it's been fun to watch the USA program back to USA football that Dave and you and I grew up with.
No, absolutely. And if you don't remember, there was a lot of rumors that they were potentially 8-player football.
You're right.
That's how, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. That's what numbers looked like just a couple of years ago.
A couple of years separated from canceling games.
Exactly. And so they've turned around. The numbers are a lot better, and this is a healthy football team and a very good, very underrated football team for how good they were this season.
So that wraps things up from week number 11 with our booth full here of folks. Kevin Streeter, of course, Thumb Audio Video. You can go and watch the whole replay on the NFHS network. He says hi and says goodbye very quickly there as he's had a good night. We introduced a new aspect tonight. We had a drone, which was approved by the MHSA. We checked out the regulations there, kept it off the track, and we had that going in our pregame show. Nice little, we add something new every single week. We got a few more things up our sleeves, maybe an out-of-town sticker score. We got a few more graphics in the play there, and we're hoping to get a sideline camera back like we had in Millington as well. So
you almost said reporter.
No,
he's got a jab.
Watch it.
My thought of it, we do have the microphone capability of adding a second sideline reporter, but I'm not sure they'd be fighting too much with Ed Klump on that.
I don't think
there's not a field big enough for this.
and the real problem with that is Ed Klump wouldn't have on the quarters switching sidelines. He wouldn't get to pass the concession stand every time.
Right.
So that's the biggest problem there. So, gentlemen.
Especially in Millington with the bratwurst. Let's bring that up every time. I can't say enough about it.
Well, I think Ken Lanthus would prefer if you don't bring up Millington's game. He had a rough game.
Very long night.
Ken Lanthus fell in a pothole You had to carry 10-foot 4x4s.
Yep.
You had white dust all over you at one point.
Yep.
You were covered in mud.
Oh,
you cut yourself twice.
My hand.
Your hand.
I still got a scar from that.
And it was so cold. It was so cold. We had nothing but gaff tape. So we wrapped that, and the gaff tape wasn't sticking. And it was a long night for Kendall and I will say that. But a great game there. That was a fun game as well as every game we've had this year. This is my 15th season on the with the WW Sports Network, and it's been more enjoyable this year than ever before, just because of a great crew around us here tonight, and moving hopefully for another 3 weeks.
That's the goal, right?
That's
that
the
is
goal.
Absolutely the goal. So hopefully Harbor Beach can take care of business, but should be a great one next week.
Tonight's game broadcast was brought to you by Thumb Sailor and AVS Broadband, Konica Radiator and Air Conditioning of Maddox, Randy's Hunting Center, North Star Bank guiding the way, Countryside Sales and Service, DS Services of Cass City for all of your grain handling needs, Thumb Bank and Trust, community strong since 1895, Thumb Electric and TEC Fiber, Harbor Beach Community Hospital, a proud partner of Sure Health. Ramsey Funeral Home, our family serving yours since 1948. Wessel's Enterprises, Harbor Beach Hardware, the Michigan High School Athletic Association, and Sure Health. Better health, better life.
Are you sure?
Well done, gentlemen. So from the big lake they call Gitchagumi all the way down to Lake Huron on the shores, we'll return next week as the Harbor Beach Pirates hosts the Beal City Aggies. Will it be on Friday? Will it be on Saturday? We will let you know. Check our social media accounts. We're all over the place. If you haven't followed us on TikTok, you can check all the highlights there. On behalf of Thumb Audio Video, everyone here on the WW Sports Network, good night. We'll see you next week in the Regional Championship.
This has been a presentation of the WLEW Sports Network, powered by AVS Broadband. On Sports Radio 102.1 FM and live and worldwide at WLEWsports.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Just search for WLEW Sports. Your home for high school football is the WLEW Sports Network.